the national stage. Where did I get the 15 million and a margin of 6 million? It was in the messaging. One of the greatest victories with that margin of almost 7 million. What was my capital stock? My face, nobody knew me. I was a provinciano. Neither was I an actor ever since. Just an ordinary face there in the streets. What? Money? If you only know. And there were a lot of big businesses who contributed money. I'd like to tell you now. And if you want to know who they are, you ask me after this week. For those who had business with government, never run. I was prepared to lose. For anyway, I was not prepared to win. The political party was a moribund one. It was a local party for all of the elections participated. But I just got into the wagon and used it, and with the little money from the Davaoeños, and for the limited time that I could visit, I did not even have one single governor in Luzon except Jaime Marcos. Wala akong barangay captain or neither a councilor nor mayor or congressman. So what's the message? The message is, I promise them, you guys, no corruption. And it will be a clean government, I assure you. I promise you to end the travails of the drug problem hitting our young population. And I'm doing it, and there are some guys who are killed along the way, and criminality. Economics will come, make the country peaceful, and they will come. Erase corruption, and they will come. Now, why do you think I say that? You go to Davao. You have been to Davao, I'm sure. While people can walk there safely without any problem, they go out at night, they are not being mugged or molested. And my orders to the police was, ask your beautiful daughter and your wife to walk the streets at night in Davao City. If they go home or if they come home undisturbed, unbridled by their activity of joy, going around, unmolested, then that is the standard I want for my constituency. And just if given enough time, and in the fullness of God's time, we will have it. We will have it. I will force the issue against the Filipino people. Ito ang sundin natin. No corruption. So I ask that every cabinet member or guys now in government, for all of us, not even a whisper like Caesar's wife. You must be beyond whisper. Because then, we lose our friendships. I got all of my friends there because I have trust in them. But I said the only thing that I ask them, no corruption. Now, in this back to drugs, I have to do what I have to do. One, it is self-preservation of the race. I have to protect the children. Now, imagine the last previous administration without being specific about the president. Look at the nature of the crimes committed. You have children, 1 year old, 18 months, rape, a mother killed because she was becoming the devil in the house, a son raping a grandmother, and all of these things. Well, crimes against chastity, crimes against all. personal. Now, we get several murders. I remember that when I started this campaign, there are policemen that remember, I started by firing several police generals. I warned them to resign before I'd be sworn to. Remember that they were also playing. They remember that there are many policemen now in the wanted list, and they are appropriately called ninja, the group. This is the warning that I give you. This is shutting out of time. Be careful. And I said to you guys, kayong mga security, the army, the police, hindi ito kaya ng isang tao. If I go out suddenly, or suddenly I disappear from the scene of the presidency, if the problem would outlast me, please take care of this problem, because I think no president, even me, can solve it without your help. Now, whoever succeeds me, it's your take. But you have to do what me. Sisirain talaga ang bayan natin. Believe me. Sisirain. Then you should read Ion Grillo's sa libro na ano. This is a book which I have distributed to the officers' corps, but I do not think I had a chance to visit here before. It's Ion Grillo. It says Gangson. This is actually the history of Escobar. And if you have read all the Narcos, this is the way the South American countries failed and fell one by one. It is really in non-fiction, and it's all there for you to read. Exactly the same. May I end? I said, be careful that there are about 5,000 barangay captains in my list. Nagdadalawang isip ako, I'm trying to facilitate whether to release it or not. Or simply, if you will read it, you will be discouraged. You will be downhearted. Because these guys are elected by the people in an election which is supposed to take place next month. I pleaded to Congress, call off the elections, because this guy would still try. They have the money. And what is really worse is there are policemen, 6,000 of them. Indeed, I cannot even announce them anymore. I would not have the time to announce their names individually. So what I would like to know is also whether the Justice Department, because there are prosecutors in that also corrupt, and I will just send the list to the DILG, local government secretaries. Hindi ko na kaya kasi if I read it, tapos magkapatayan, if I read all the names and they would start to cleanse themselves among themselves to prevent, being drawn into the vortex of the shabu, mahirapan tayo. But we are placing our children in danger. If you think that it cannot be solved by the civilians, then I'm telling you now, solve it for yourself. For after all, you are mandated by the Constitution to preserve the country, which means to say the youth, the future Filipinos. Save them, do your work, and prevent the erosion of the integrity of our country. Wala talaga. Hindi ko nga. If I cannot do it, nobody can. You know me, you know the rest of those who ran during the last election. You know their character. You know their, the limits of their persona. If I cannot do it, then give them 1,000 years. They cannot do it. That's why I'm warning you. I am not asking you to do anything drastic or extraordinary. I'm just asking you to sleep on it very carefully, because the portals of the national government has been opened and narco-politics has crept in. Dilemma. Do not delude yourself about her kneeling down. I warned her 8 months ago. Now, before the election, I was summoned by the Senate. There was rice smuggling. And in the course of the Senate hearing, Mr. Enrile, the senator, asked me, if you find Bangayan smuggling rice in your city, what will you do? And I said, Mr. Senator, this guy is robbing us of 7 billion a year of taxes. If I find him in Davao City, I'll kill him for 7 million. Then Jingo Estraga, the Evers is listening now, I think it's live, the smart elect, and he would just also say, ano yon? What's that? What did you say? And he was winking his left eye. And said, Mr. Senator, I'll give you an answer you want to hear. Papatayin ko yan pag nakita ko sa Davao. He has done so harm. 7 billion is 7 billion. Now, I'll give you a computation. I'll close my talks with you. There are estimated 3. Wag na yung akin. Leave out the thing. That we'll have to sort out mine. Until now, I'm trying to validate, revalidate, and validate, and revalidate, so that I'd be fair to everybody. The latest is from the military to the police to the PDEA, the drug enforcement. Then I again insisted it goes back to a civilian agency, DILG. Said validate it, review it before I finally give it to somebody else's possession. Sabi ko sa kanila. Now, the national has already opened to narco-politics. I do not think that it would be good to have the elections sa barangay government. I do not even think that just a few months away, we will have again the local elections. Since I really do not know. Maybe that's what I said. If you do not want me, because there are people who want me to oust me, starting from a country outside. The only thing that they could do is criticize, without even looking for the truth. Here is yung newspaper mo, ma'am. Yung newspaper. If you are a friend, if you are an ally, if you are joined by a Western alliance, you should do this. It's a dormitory, apartment, back houses, and they have built it for us. Nihinoha. No announcement. And it would house 1,600. I ordered the military to open up the military camps, because it is only the military, the agency, which has so many big tracts of lands. And I ordered them to open up spaces para ilagay ito. This is now in Fort Magsaysay. It will be completed by October 15. We will have the opening. This is how you treat your friends. You do not go about reprimanding. When I was mayor, said I was the favorite whipping boy. Good. You know, but these idiots, they have not realized that I'm already the president. And if there's an issue about human rights, since we are all members of the United Nations, You go there and ventilate the issue.